Are you looking at this equation and thinking, what? What do I do first? Let's quiet the thoughts of our math worry brain and learn how to bust the fraction when solving equations like this. Be sure to download the free handout so that way you can follow along. And by copying while I'm teaching this to you, you're going to retain and make it sticky and hold on to this information so much better. If you're new here, hi, I'm Danielle, and I'm a high school math teacher for over 18 years. And here on this channel, I love to share my strategies on how to do well in math with ease to make it zen for you. Plus, I love sharing videos like this on specific math topics so you can have some help outside the math classroom. So hit subscribe down below to be sure not to miss any upcoming videos. Okay, do you have that handout printed and ready to go? Let's dive in. Okay, so I am going to take you through the levels here. We are going to build up, and build up. And guess what? You are going to have a challenge question at the end that you can try on your own after this video. And if you print the handout, I will have a full solution there for you to see how you did with it. Okay, so let's talk about solving equations with fractions. Level 1, let's start with what we know. If you are presented with x divided by 2 equals 12, we know we want to eliminate this 2, and we're going to do that by using the opposite operation of division. So we are going to multiply this side by 2, but that means whatever we do to the left side or one side, we have to do to the other side. Now what happens here, and I'm really going to break this down, is we have 2x divided by 2 equals 24. And the reason why this works is because 2 divided by 2 gives us the single x that we want, all isolated by itself. So we get x equals 24. Now, what you actually just did is called busting the fraction. You got rid of that 2 by multiplying everything on the left side and the right side by 2. So we're going to take this idea and use it in the next equation or example. But what I want you to take away from that first example is you don't have to show all that work. Isn't that good to hear? You don't hear teachers saying that too often. So instead, you have x over 2 equals 12. What you're going to do instead is just show the 2 here and just show that you're multiplying by 2 here. Cross it out, bust, and you get 1x equals 24. That's it. So down below, the rule with equations is whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other side. You must do to the other side. Let's etch that into our brains. Okay, next level, level 2. Let's bust away. So right now the denominator is 5. That means technically these denominators are 1, okay? Just to be super transparent here and clear. So we want to multiply everything by 5. So I'm going to try and make this pretty, but I'm going to put a 5 here. I'm going to put a 5. Whoop, that looks a little wonky. 5 here and a 5 here. Well, there's nothing to bust here. 5 divided by 1 is just 5. So on the right side, I'm going to write this as 5x. Plus, same thing here. There's nothing to bust in the bottom. So it's plus 5 because 1 times 5 is 5. Here, however, 5 divided by 5 is 1. So I'm left with negative 3x. Now, we know with equations, we want our buddies to be with our buddies, our like terms to be with our like terms. That means these two are missing each other because they have x's. So we're going to toss over the equal sign, this positive 5x, but anytime something comes over the equal sign, it turns negative. Or I should say it goes to its opposite sign. So negative 3x minus 5x, and we're going to leave this single 5 here alone. Negative 3 take away 5, I have negative 8x equals 5. And in order to isolate x, we're going to divide by negative 8 on both sides and simplify to a single x equals 5 over negative 8. Now, it doesn't actually matter. This is just a side note here. If I write this as negative 5 over 8, or I actually put the negative right in the middle, negative 5 over 8, just so you know they all mean the same thing. All right, are you ready to jump to level 3 with me? Let's hop on over. So here we have, hold on a second, that's the same example. Okay, sorry. This is supposed to say level 3. There's supposed to be 3 levels. Okay, apparently I can't count. So regardless, let's look here. Now we have 2 denominators to consider. We have 6 and we have 4. I want to look for the lowest common multiple. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 6. I said multiple, not factors. My apologies. Hold on, let's back that up. So if I'm looking at lowest common multiples, it's 6, 12. Now I'm seeing 12. Hold on a second. 4, 8, 12. So there it is, 12 and 12. So I'm going to multiply. I'm going to bust the fraction with my lowest common multiple. Okay. So that means I'm going to multiply everything on the left and everything on the right by 12. Okay, let's try and make this pretty and clean. So 12 here, 12 here, and 12 here. What happens? I mean, if you would like to write this out, we can. 12 times, so it's just nicer, plus 12 times 1. My equal signs should line up. Not doing a great job with that. 12 times x minus 4 all over 4. Okay, if we start busting, 12 divided by 6 is 2. So I'm going to do 2 times x. That's what that simplifies to. Plus 12 times 1 is 12 equals 12 divided by 4 was 12 divided by 4, 3. So I'm going to multiply this 3 to everything inside bracket. Let's take it slow. I'm not going to do everything in one shot. I don't like to skip too many steps because this way I can catch my mistakes in action. So 2x plus 12 is equal to, now if we are distributing or expanding, we get 3 times x, which is 3x, and 3 times negative 4, which is negative 12. All right, we want our buddies to be together. That means the 2x and the 3x want to hang out, and the 12s and the 12s want to hang out. So let's go 2x minus 3x, because this is a positive 3x, just invisible, it's coming over, equals negative 12. Now what's this positive 12 going to come over as? Negative 12. 2 take away 3 is negative 1x. Negative 12 take away negative 12, is negative 24. Now, we don't want to leave it like that. We always want positive 1x. That means I'm going to divide by negative 1 here. I'm loving this question. And dividing by negative 1 here, because it's showing you a lot, actually. X is equal to positive 24. And that's your final answer. Now, I'm not covering this in this lesson, but if you wanted to check if you did this correctly, you could take the 24 and go back to the original question, put it in here, see what the left side calculates to, and put the 24 in here, see what the right side calculates to. And if they match, you've done it properly. All right. I believe, yes, this challenge question is here for you next. So you have one of 2 options. You can jump straight to it, or you can pause the video and go try the first 3 we did together completely by yourself to see if you can mimic what I did. And if that is all good, you can then try the challenge question. You'll probably get it on your first try. And if you don't, that's okay too. Now you're a fraction busting pro. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments and I'll be sure to try and get to them as soon as possible. I'll see you in the next video.